Howdy guys, how we doing? Welcome back to another video of Westland Survival. How we doing? Hope you guys are well. So this is a big update. Well, the update hasn't dropped yet, but hear me out. We just got ourselves a teaser for Tier 7. Yes, you guys heard that right. Tier 7 is on its way, and it looks like it's going to be a big old thing. So yeah, I was watching the teaser video myself just to sort of get some little snippets and things like that here. I'm actually going to play that in picture on my gameplay here, just so you guys can see what's sort of going on. If you haven't checked it out, go over to Westland's actual YouTube channel and watch the latest video, which would be around the Tier 7. So there's a little bit to unpack, and I just wanted to sort of go through that with you guys while I've got you here. So yeah, like I'll leave it playing for a few times over, so you guys get a little bit of a sense of it, just to sort of see exactly what's happening. And if you guys get any sort of indication of things that could be coming, or what would be expected to come. And I want to give you guys my thoughts as well as to what the requirements might be in terms of accessing the Tier 7 location, because it's going to be a physical brand new location. There's got to be new weapons, there's got to be new enemies, there's going to be new everything, pretty much exactly like what happened with the Rio Wilds. So I would expect the same is going to happen. It'll probably be as part of the storyline as well for Westland. So again, just sort of putting it out there. But before we discuss all of that, let's go ahead and have a look at this little teaser video here. So you can see that there's a train coming through. You see that there's parts of the new location. You can see a horse pushing a cart around as well. It looked like to be a what do you call it? Like a tram system kind of thing. That's what I sort of interpreted it to be, perfectly honest with you guys. But yeah, that's just my my kick on it. But like I said, there's some key things in here that I want to sort of at least give you guys a bit of an idea. So you can see there was a new saloon, there's a new stable, there's a new store, and then obviously you got the sheriff there as well at the same time. So there you go. But yeah, that basically sort of leads me on to what I believe what could be the requirements in order for you to get to, or what would be required of us to do, I guess. So for me personally, there's going to be something that we're going to need to construct. I have an inkling for that, because if you look at all the previous released lands, so Rio Wilds, the marshlands. So the Rio Wilds, you needed the vaccines, right? So you needed the vaccines in order for you to complete the sled that allows you to open up the Rio Wilds, okay? And you would have to do, physical tasks, things like that, to get all of the necessary items and components and such. That's one thing. But then if you look at the deep water, you needed the steamboat parts. Same deal. You needed to pass certain criterias, and you also needed to gather all the other necessary components to complete the boat, and then that allows you accessibility into the deep water. So I feel like the same is going to be done with regards to the, excuse me, the new Tier 7 location. So it's gonna be huge, I reckon. It's gonna be huge. I'm gonna go out here into the main map anyway, and I will probably bet, I could be wrong, but I'm gonna speculate right now before the update actually drops, because we don't know, it hasn't been confirmed when this update will drop, whether it'll be this week, whether it'll be next week. I feel like it might be this week, only because that we're not that far away from finishing off the challenge as well, being the 7-year anniversary. I think it's actually done. Yeah, it has been done. So the battle pass is complete. So I feel like it'll be either imminent, or it could be not that far away. So if we look at this location here, because you've got the train tracks leading from Silverton. Could go either way, actually. It could go this way, because you've got a bit of a cloudy location here, which could make sense, because this could be the full location, just where just edging where the Rio Wilds is, and that's where you basically could lead yourself to, or where we could be leading ourselves to, I should say. Or the other alternative, which always made sense to me, is this large location over here on the opposite side, above the deep water. So I feel like it could be either two locations. I feel like that could be the way to go. but I feel like it's gonna be a train, only because when we saw the initial part of the video, the train pulls into the station and then it proceeds to show you the locations of the town, so the new point of interest, I should say. So I'm heading over to Silverton anyway, just to sort of give you guys a bit of an idea on what I feel as well, because like I said, there's going to be a new saloon. This is called the Grackle anyway, so there'll be a new saloon. There was people playing on gambling tables and things like that, so that could be a thing as well in the next update. We don't know, but that's something that that we can also look forward to seeing, right? There was also a stable, so this would be a newer version of what we've got here with Arabella. I don't know whether or not we're going to have the same NPCs, right, within Silverton at the new location. But I feel like there's going to be, either new characters or potentially the same. We don't know. But again, subject to not knowing until we find out when the game is officially released. And then there's obviously other little bits and pieces. There was like a store, things like that. But again, like I said, we don't know exactly what it's all going to be entailed, because it was effectively a teaser trailer. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to sort of discuss is this part here. I feel like this is where we're going to be building or creating our new, as you can see, there's a train here ready to go. Now notice the train is in this configuration, right? So it looks like it's heading north, not south, north. So let's go ahead and just quickly jump out of the map here real quickly, and we'll exit to the map. So if we go north, I feel like it's going to go this way, right? So it's going to be traveling all the way through here, and I reckon it's going to be this location here potentially. Because it's a brand new tier 7, it's going to be huge. It possibly might be the case, but who knows? But hopefully there's going to be a range and host of brand new locations and things like that, and hopefully it's going to give us a lot of players, things to do, and places to explore, all that sort of good stuff. But I feel like it would be in this location, so I feel like that could be the prime real estate, so to speak. That's my opinion. Like I said, could be wrong, but that's basically my hunch, my suspicion. Unfortunately, I don't get given any sort of pre-notion access or information or anything like that. Is the train gone? The train's actually gone. Oh, see, it's departed. Well, anyway, it was good that we actually saw the train anyway, because it sort of helps us sort of give us a bit of an idea of what could be possible. So with saying that, unfortunately, as I was sort of going back to before, I don't get any early access information, and if I did, I'd probably have an NDA signed up, so I wouldn't say anything. But anyway, enough about that. Basically, what I'm feeling is that this is going to be where we're going to need to sort ourselves out in terms of getting ourselves ready to go to the new location. Excuse me. Now, we don't have any information as to what we need to do or how we're going to need to do it. There's this lady here. Oh, that's just a player. No problem. For some reason, this person was just standing here conspicuously, and I thought, you know what, that could be someone that we could speak to. But anyway, going back to it, I feel like we're going to have to rebuild or remodel the train station. That's my gut feeling. That's my hunch. Or possibly we're going to have to rebuild the rail lines. Okay, so I feel like one of the two, or if not both, would be the requirement in order for us to explore the new location. So what would that involve? So wood would be the first thing. So I would say that all it would have to be tier 6 everything, I would say. So we're talking like elder logs into boards, all that sort of stuff. I wouldn't think anything tier 5 or tier 4 related would be required, but we're probably going to be needing a lot of tungsten. This is going to be one thing. Gold might be on the table, on the menu. Not too sure, but if we go by previous updates, gold wasn't too much of a factor. The only factor that gold had was it gave you the ability to purchase the special items that weren't actually in the game, but were only brought into the game for the facilitation to complete the recipe. Okay, so because we don't know what would be the special item, I'm going to have a guess at this myself. It'll be some sort of railroad component potentially, maybe some sort of specialized nails or something of that nature. Like I can't even recall what the name is, but they're very long long nails that you basically essentially nail down or smash down into the ground in order to keep the rail and the actual sleepers, which would be your wood, all connected with each other so they don't move apart and flex and things like that. I'm feeling that could be what we would be looking at in obtaining. So that could be it potentially. I feel like that would be the most plausible outcome, reality that we could be looking at. So we could either be looking at, like I said, remodeling, rebuilding, or potentially just finishing off the station itself in order to get that started, and then or completing the actual railroad section in order for us to link us to the new location. So like I said, I feel like it's going to be tier 6 everything. So for those that haven't gotten to the tier 6 location and done all the necessary challenges that have that you do get once you explore a new brand new location, then I feel like you may not be able to get there anytime soon. But for end game players like myself, I've already conquered all of that, and we're basically pretty much ready to go in order for us to explore the new location. So it's obviously not going to happen straight away, okay? Because there's going to be either 1 or 2 streams in order for you to receive those specialized items. Like I said, I refer back to those specialized items because this is the way that the developers sort of reduce the quickness in plays in obtaining all these special items, so that it's not accessed too soon or anything like that. So there's obviously going to be a timer or like I guess like a static amount of days until the first round or first batch of players will have accessibility to these locations, right? So if we look at the Rio Wilds as an example, you could only obtain one way. Sorry, there was 2 ways. One way to obtain vaccines were to complete the cultist camp, and then once you completed the cultist camp and you unlock all of the end loot, then you'll receive those vaccines, and then you basically put that towards completing the recipe for the sled in that instance. So the same rules apply here. I would feel that we're going to be needing to do the digger's den to do the exact same thing. So it's going to basically push us and require us to actually complete the digger's den. And now we know that it's going to take a week each time because it takes a week to reset the location. So once you do that, then that will enable you to reset the location and then start again and then rinse and repeat. Now, I guess the only other option and availability for other special items that you can pick up is if you go to the Rio Wilds in this instance, there is a gold trader, and you could potentially use your gold to trade in to get the additional resources to sort of try and speed up the actual process of it all. Now, like all things new into the game, they're going to basically put it onto a higher threshold for people to get there sooner, as I mentioned earlier before. But as time goes on, and as more people actually complete those challenges themselves, so I'm talking end game players here, once they complete all of those challenges and things like that and they get through, for up and coming players, I would imagine, like they've done in the previous versions, they will relax the requirements and possibly put in more special items per run if you go into the digger's den, and that'll obviously allow you to get to the tier 7 location a lot sooner. So I feel like that's basically going to be the outcome. That'll be my guess I think. So yeah, I feel like that would be the way to go. But I didn't actually mention the new name. It's called Rio Bravo is the new location name. So I just wanted to mention that as well. I'll obviously have it into the description, but like I said, my initial reaction today when I first seen it was basically, what are we going to do? What's going to be required of us? And what could be the recipe involved to get the whatever it needs to be completed in order for us to move to the next location. Don't get me wrong, I could be completely wrong. I could be completely wrong in a sense where there's going to be no requirements that we're going to need to build or rebuild or do anything. It'll just be a straight shoot over to the new location. but it could come at a cost. And that's the other thing I want to explain as well. So, like, it's never been done, but it could be a possibility where we might actually have to spend either silver or gold, or actually invest in banknotes to access the location. And I would imagine that banknotes would become a currency as well with the new Tier 7, hence why they've introduced it a little while back. So I feel like that could be something that we're going to see a little bit more common. Who knows? Banknotes could become available for us to earn via quests and things like that. I would imagine that might be exclusively only in the Tier 7 location, so in Rio Bravo. But as I mentioned, we don't know exactly how this is all going to pan out and play out. So, like I said, I just wanted to sort of offer my initial thoughts, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking that could happen. Like I said, it might not even eventuate to anything that I've just mentioned in this video, but it could possibly be close on the money, if not exactly as I've said it, I've explained it. But I feel like this is a very good way to speculate for now, and in order for us to, you know, gather a little bit of hype, right? Because this is a brand new location. Because I think the Baril Wilds was, what, the start of 24, maybe? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it would have been. So it's been well over a year since we've had access to that location. So it's been quite some time for a full-blown new location. So that's good, because if they do that, then they're basically sticking to full year updates where you get new locations, new things like that, like major content updates, which is what this would be classed as, I would say. So yeah, Tier 7, Rio Bravo location. Let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Do you somewhat agree? Or do you have something completely different that you feel that could be happening once the new update drops? And I want to know your thoughts, so share them in the comments. But that's it, guys. I want to thank you guys for stopping by, checking out this video. Make sure you go ahead and leave a like, comment down below, and share if you can. If you guys are new to the channel or not, and you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell icon so you don't miss out on any future videos regarding Tier 7 and Westland in general, because you guys know I will be definitely heading to that location, and I can't wait to show you guys what that is going to be all about. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.